Today we have a guest. We have a presentation from the TCSU Director, Bob Green. I'll give a brief introduction. Bob has an extensive resume. Bob came to us in October, I guess, of last year, and he came to us from the Kettering Police Department. I believe you retired after 25 years?
Yes.
Kettering Police Department. There he spent time on the Vice and Drug Unit, where he coordinated buys of illegal narcotics and prostitution, coordinated and directed patrol, surveillance, and operations, oversaw a 4-year person undercover unit, oversaw the intelligence officer, and assisted the TCSU with operations and providing manpower. And now I'm going to also jump to, he was also a patrol officer and a detective for almost 10 years. He came to Kettering from Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, where he was the deputy sheriff from January of '88 until August of '93, almost 6 years, 5.5 years. He has teaching experience with the Clark County Community College. He's conducted quite a bit of training for TCSU and the Greene County Adult Education and the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. So, Bob also has a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Criminal Justice from the University of Cincinnati. So, thank you, Bob, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. The purpose of me being here is to give you a little bit of background on the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit. We have been around since 1974. I was 10 years old at that time, so I haven't been with them that long. We are one of the oldest task force. Basically it's a concept that it was ahead of its time back then. Now you know of a lot of task force that are around, whether it be Range or ACE task force. Those are a lot of drug task force. We also, not only drugs that you'll see, but we investigate other crimes within our conglomerations of cities, which involve all of you. Our mantra is basically crimes without borders, because one of the things that we found, especially in the heroin epidemic, is that the crime does not have a border. Right? If Montgomery County or the city of Dayton is considered a large hub in the state of Ohio for heroin, we're going to feel it in our cities. So we will go beyond our borders. We're staffed. I'm the director. I have an administrative assistant. And then the cities, the 8 cities, they provide 3 detectives. Kettering and Centerville always have a detective assigned to us, and then it goes in a rotation. Currently, we have Germantown assigned to us, but in May we're going to transfer over, and Oakwood's going to assign a detective, and then Germantown will stay in part-time. It's our goal to try to grow the task force in the future. We also have a federal agent from the USDA, which is very helpful because he can assist us a lot with theft of the human resource, like the EBT cards, welfare cards, and things like that. There's a lot of theft that goes on there, so we utilize him. We have a state agent from the Ohio Investigative Unit. And Josh is an agent who can also work with the EBT cards, but he works undercover. We look at for any alcohol violations, whether it be underage sales, whether it be bars that are selling excessive sales, or any type of violation, drugs, anything like that. So we work with his agency, and they've assigned Josh on a part-time basis as well. And finally, we have an analyst from the National Guard. He's currently a lieutenant. He's going to be promoted soon to captain, and he runs all our analysis. He's also a computer whiz, so when I don't know how to do anything on my cell phone, which is common, he can fix that for me too, so it's very beneficial to me. The cities that are involved, we have Centerville, Germantown, Kettering, Miamisburg, the Miami Valley Cable Communications Center, and Moraine, Oakwood, Springboro, and West Carrollton. Currently, we are actively working cases in West Carrollton, Springboro, Moraine. We're helping in another case in Kettering and Miamisburg that is what we're actively doing now. Now, basically, when we are not working narcotics cases, we are helping out or investigating for these agencies, whether it be property crimes, violent crimes, or any type of investigative support. The city of Springboro had an incident at their school system involving one of their educators. We sent our analysts over to him to help out. That has been very beneficial for them. When we've had other violent crimes that have occurred in other cities, we'll send out staff to help them out, to give them manpower support, whatever they need. You will see in the presentation that we have a lot of technical equipment at our disposal. Well, we loan that equipment out to different detective sections within the cities. Property crimes, we work with the NICB, National Investigative Crime Bureau. They actually provide us with 3 vehicles, undercover vehicles, and through that agreement, we will recover stolen cars. The license plate readers that you might see on cruisers that read license plates, well, that can pick up a stolen vehicle automatically. Well, people are actually paid in civilian cars with those license plate readers, LPRs. When they get a hit, they'll send it to a gentleman from NICB who notifies us. We go out and pick up the car. We'll sit on it for a little bit, see if we can get an apprehension out of it. If not, we'll secure the vehicle with whatever city we're in. In the exchange for us doing that, they have provided us with 3 cars. Recently, they also provided us with what we refer to as a bait trailer. And it's a trailer that the insurance company no longer wanted. The claim had been paid out, so we'll actually put that trailer out when we have theft at construction sites, see if it gets stolen, have a GPS to it, and then we'll go up to their front door and take our trailer back and arrest them as well. So we have many different avenues of which we can investigate different crimes. We're lucky enough to have body wires, body cams, which are many, not just the normal body cams. These might be a coffee cup, a pair of sunglasses, a hat. It's nothing that you would know that's there. We have access. We have all that type of equipment that we can do undercover operations with, and we can record the drug buy or the meet with someone if we're interviewing someone. Both covert audio and video. We have GPS. We've also loaned this out to other cities outside the conglomeration when it's a major crime. If you're familiar with the Cheryl Coker case, we assisted them on their investigation as well. She is the young lady that's missing out of the city of Riverside. And we also have access to, we have a pole cam. And a pole cam, we get with DP&L, we put a camera up there, and it sits and watches a house, and we watch who comes in and who comes out. And then that helps our case later, and we can loan this out to all the cities upon request. With the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit, you have a regional SWAT team. It's based out of Kettering. We use them on high-risk search warrants. Within a week, we're preparing up for a very big search warrant. Due to the information that we've learned of the people inside the house, it's considered high risk, and that we know of firearms. And when they're known firearms, we call out the SWAT team. The regional SWAT team has members from all the cities within the conglomeration. So they help us with warrants, whether it's a search warrant or a warrant service. Basically with that, if we have a person who has a warrant and it's a high-risk entry, once again, to take him into custody or her into custody, we will use the SWAT team. Hostage barricade, as you saw in the news, I believe it was yesterday, we had an individual that ran from the city of Kettering into Harrison Township, barricaded himself in the house. The Kettering Regional SWAT team went out and eventually got him out after about 9 hours and a lot of tear gas that was dispensed inside. And then a buy-bust operation. Basically, this is a drug operation where we purchase the drugs undercover and we arrest them immediately. And we will use the SWAT team for those type of operations too. We have polygraph services. They're good for criminal examinations, pre-employments. The pre-employments are 2 exams, a pre-test, which is your longer test. It's about 2.5 hours average, and then a post-test, and this is after the individual's been given a conditional offer. And in the conditional offer, we can ask questions that we're not allowed to ask on the pretest because of the American Disabilities Act. This can get into medical questions, psychological history, and any type of deviant behavior that's protected under the American Disabilities Act. We have 3 examiners to date. Nadia Dexter's out of Centerville, Greg Stout is out of Kettering, and Mike Burke just came on board. He just graduated from Polygraph School here about 2 weeks ago, and he's with Kettering as well. Some of the regional training. This past week, we've been doing legal updates with the departments within the conglomeration of TCSU. We have CPT training, officer safety issues. We'll do traffic stops. We use simunition, which are real guns, but soap bullets. So you feel the sting. It doesn't penetrate the skin. Well, it does if it's on the skin, and that usually happens to me because my clothes move or something. Operation that's coming up, since we're going to be in Dayton, we contact our SWAT team, who contacts Dayton SWAT team, and then they decide who's going to do the entry between the two.
Okay, so the relationship is real good and it works well together, and it's
it's been very good. It's been very good, and we also invite them to train with us, and we share a lot of intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that in the old days, people tried to hold everything close to their cuff and not share information. Well, with transportation and the mobility, we can't do that anymore. We have to share this information. We have to work as a team, and it doesn't matter whether the city of Dayton borders up to Oakwood or Kettering. It just doesn't matter. We have to share that information and work together because it involves us all.
What kind of turnover rate do you have, Bob?
As far as personnel?
Yeah.
Generally, they try to, when they assign someone to TCSU, it's a 2 to 3 year. Sometimes people will stay 4 to 5 years.
Special training?
We like to have experienced detectives because they have the relationship downtown with the prosecutor's office and they understand the filing system. If not, we can bring them up to speed. When working undercover operations, that takes more time of us training the new person how to work undercover and how to have your backstory and all your information.
Good.
Bob, I had a question about when your SWAT teams or your groups confiscate assets. How is that done, and what happens to those assets?
Okay, initially we will try to take everything we can. And then the court will decide, once the case is disposed of, what they get back and then what we get to keep. We have a separate, TCSU has their own separate, what we refer to as a state fund. Now that money, it's in a special account. It doesn't draw interest. It's not allowed to draw interest. And we can use that to further our mission in the fight against drugs, equipment, and things like that. It can't be used for salaries. If there is an actual, like say a vehicle, we like taking cars and motorcycles too. And we will sell those on GovTech, which is the government's way of having eBay. And then they write a check to us, and we turn it over to the council, to MVCC.
Thank you. Great. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, I was told I can leave, so I.
No, you have to stay for the whole thing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And if any time with you, you have the annual report. If you have any questions, Jay and Sheila know how to get a hold of me. Please feel free to call. If anyone would like to come out and tour our office, I don't want to say where it's at in a public forum, but I'd love to have you come out and show you where we're at and show you the equipment firsthand. It's we have a great group of people, and we're very fortunate to be where we're at, and we appreciate your time as well.